Have you ever wondered why women act the way they do when they're attracted to you? What's going on behind their body language, those subtle cues, and how much does this reveal about what they want? You'll be amazed at the psychological facts I'm about to share with you, and here's the catch. If you understand these signs, you can improve your connection with women in ways you never imagined. In this video, we're diving into some fascinating facts about attraction, intimacy, and the things women appreciate in a partner. From why women love when a man understands their body language, to how they perceive a man's scent, these insights will not only change how you view attraction but how you approach your relationships. You'll learn why certain behaviors, like how a woman greets you or where she positions her feet, reveal her feelings. Ever noticed a woman licking her lips during a conversation? There's a reason for that. Want to know why some women find older men more appealing? I'll explain that too. Plus, we'll explore things like why certain sexual positions might spark more intense orgasms for women, and why watching porn together can strengthen a relationship. The most intriguing part? You'll discover what men rarely understand about female desire, and why women in their 40s and 50s experience more intense pleasure than when they were younger. So, if you want to become more attuned to what women want and increase your attractiveness, stick with me till the end. You won't want to miss the shocking truths coming up. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. When we ask ourselves the simple yet deeply introspective question, how am I looking? The truth is that honesty isn't always the best policy. The reason for this is deeply rooted in our emotions, our vulnerability, and our desire to be accepted, loved, and appreciated for who we are, flaws and all. While we may crave validation from others, sometimes the most caring response we can give ourselves is one that involves kindness, tact, and understanding. It's not about lying or misleading ourselves, but about choosing to respond with grace when the world, or our reflections, are harsh. It's about allowing ourselves the space to see beauty in our imperfections. For many, the fear of rejection or judgment can make us hesitant to answer such questions with full honesty. And honestly, that's okay. What matters most is finding a delicate balance between acknowledging our self-worth and being open to growth. Interestingly, prolonged solitude can lead to an acceptance of loneliness, but this is often a dangerous form of self-deception. Solitude can become a comfortable cocoon, offering us temporary respite from the chaos of the world. However, over time, this loneliness can shift from a temporary state into a chronic acceptance, one that often prevents us from recognizing our potential for deeper connection, growth, and personal fulfillment. What's even more heartbreaking is that, sometimes, it's the fear of being alone that stops us from truly blossoming into who we are meant to be. It's as if we cling to what we know, what feels safe, rather than stepping into the unknown and embracing our true potential. If we could only see it, our fears often limit us, preventing us from seeking the relationships, experiences, and self-love that can lead us to the life we've always dreamed of. As we explore the intricacies of human relationships and intimacy, there are fascinating insights that often go unnoticed. For instance, the topic of physical attraction and sexual compatibility is much more nuanced than we often realize. It's astounding, but research shows that when it comes to the physical aspect of attraction, many women tend to gravitate toward a male genital organ of about 8 to 10 centimeters in length. It's one of those seemingly trivial facts that plays a larger role in relationships than we might think. While physical compatibility isn't the sole foundation of a relationship, it undeniably contributes to emotional closeness, trust, and comfort. This is where sexual compatibility, often downplayed in romantic discussions, plays an essential role. Studies reveal that nearly 80% of women test out sexual compatibility before committing to marriage. This reveals the deep-seated importance of not only emotional connection, but also the ability to connect physically in a way that is satisfying and harmonious. It's one of the ways we show care for our partner, meeting them in the most intimate of spaces. As women age, they experience remarkable changes in their bodies, and one of the most interesting transformations is in their sexual experiences. Women between the ages of 40 and 50 often report experiencing orgasms that are more intense and profound than in their younger years. This shift can be attributed to various biological changes, including a decrease in body water content, which can heighten sensitivity and alter the nature of pleasure. For many women, this stage of life is one of self-discovery, of finally becoming attuned to the body in ways that were previously hidden. It's an empowering realization. Our bodies don't lose their capacity for pleasure with age. Instead, they transform, creating new pathways for connection, emotional expression, and intimacy. It's as if the experience of living itself, complete with its joys, struggles, and wisdom, creates a deeper, more fulfilling connection to our desires. Similarly, alcohol consumption reveals intriguing gender differences. It's a little-known fact that women tend to get drunk faster than men. This difference is due to a variety of factors, such as differences in body composition and hormonal influences. What this speaks to is not just the chemistry of our bodies, but the fact that each of us is wonderfully unique. Our bodies react to the same substances in different ways, reminding us of the incredible complexity of human biology and how much more we still need to understand about ourselves and each other. It also serves as a gentle reminder to appreciate the differences between us and to be more mindful of how we navigate the world, especially when it comes to our health and choices. On a lighter note, there's something deeply charming and intimate about the social behavior of women, especially when it comes to restroom visits. While it may seem trivial at first, the fact that women often visit restrooms in groups speaks volumes about the importance of camaraderie, shared experiences, and connection. These bathroom breaks are often more than just functional. They're moments for women to bond, exchange compliments, offer encouragement, and yes, touch up makeup. But there's a certain warmth in these moments, a quiet solidarity among women who come together to create an unspoken sisterhood in the most unlikely of places. In these intimate settings, women don't just share space. They share parts of themselves, creating connections that go far beyond the superficial. Turning to the fascinating science of female biology, ovulation represents one of the most fascinating windows of time in a woman's cycle. During this period, the likelihood of a woman reaching orgasm is heightened, making it a peak time for sexual pleasure. This is a testament to how our bodies are intricately designed, and how nature has woven pleasure and biology together in ways that we often take for granted. It's awe-inspiring to realize that, at certain times, a woman's body is more attuned to experiencing connection, to experiencing pleasure, in a way that aligns with her natural rhythms. This synchronicity between biology and intimacy is both beautiful and humbling. Another profound observation about women's body language is the importance of nonverbal cues. Women express so much without saying a word, through the angle of their feet, the way they play with their hair, or how close they stand to someone they are interested in. These subtle gestures carry profound emotional weight, revealing feelings of attraction, curiosity, or interest. These nonverbal signals are like whispers of our deepest desires, inviting others to understand us in a way that words cannot. The beauty of these gestures is that they allow for a deeper connection, one that transcends the limitations of language. It's almost as if our bodies are continuously speaking a language of their own, waiting for someone who is attuned enough to listen and interpret it with understanding and respect. And speaking of astonishing facts, here's a mind-blowing one. Human testes can produce an incredible 1,500 sperm with every heartbeat. That's right, every single heartbeat is a testament to the incredible power and potential of human life. It's a staggering reminder of how miraculous and complex the human body is. And when we take a moment to reflect on this fact, it serves as a beautiful metaphor for the potential we all carry within us. Every heartbeat is a chance for growth, connection, and renewal. Finally, here's an intriguing social fact. Humans can maintain meaningful friendships with up to 150 individuals over a lifetime. This speaks to the incredible power of human connection, and how our relationships shape our lives and provide us with a sense of community and belonging. It's comforting to think that, no matter the ups and downs we face, there are always connections waiting to be made, friendships to be nurtured, and relationships to be formed. As we grow older, we may have fewer close relationships, but those we do maintain tend to be the ones that matter the most, ones that enrich our lives and make them truly meaningful. In the end, life is filled with fascinating details that we often overlook. These facts remind us of the incredible complexity of being human, of our bodies, our emotions, and our connections to one another. They inspire us to see the beauty in the everyday, the extraordinary in the ordinary, and the potential for growth and connection that lies within all of us. Life is a beautiful journey of discovery, of embracing the unexpected, and of growing in ways we never thought possible. So let's take a moment to appreciate the wonder that surrounds us and the connections that make our lives truly meaningful. When people meet for the first time, there's often an immediate, instinctive reaction that many aren't even consciously aware of. Research reveals that about 80% of men will, in some way, glance at a woman's breasts when meeting her. It's not necessarily out of malice or disrespect, but rather a deeply ingrained, almost biological response. The human brain is wired to pick up on physical cues, and for many men, it's just a fleeting moment. But it's worth noting that how society responds to this kind of behavior plays a crucial role in shaping our perceptions of attraction and respect. Women, on the other hand, have their own set of subconscious cues that reveal their attraction. A woman might lick her lips when she's engaged in a conversation with someone she finds genuinely attractive. It's not always a conscious action, but it's a small, subtle movement that speaks volumes. This gesture, when noticed, can reveal the depth of her interest, the allure she feels, and how much she is emotionally invested in the interaction. These silent signals, though often overlooked, are powerful. They can communicate desires, intrigue, and connection without a single word. This is the magic of human attraction. It's primal, yet beautifully layered with emotional and psychological components. The way our bodies react to each other can be both mysterious and revealing. And, when it comes to relationships, these physical cues are just the beginning. They evolve as we delve deeper into emotional intimacy, which is the true foundation of any lasting bond. Now, let's shift to something that many might consider a bit controversial, but which has become a topic of increasing interest: the idea of couples watching pornography together. This practice, while often stigmatized, can lead to surprising benefits for a relationship. It's not merely about the act itself. Rather, it's about the level of trust and vulnerability it requires. When a couple watches adult content together, they are often exploring intimacy in a new, open way. It's a shared experience that encourages communication, breaks down barriers, and can help foster a deeper sense of commitment. It's this kind of openness that can help couples bond more closely, as it reveals their willingness to embrace each other's desires, no matter how unconventional they might seem. Some might judge this practice as problematic, but I believe it can be a way of acknowledging and accepting our desires, which is, in itself, an act of emotional intimacy. Mark Twain, a man whose wisdom still resonates today, once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why." This quote encapsulates the journey of self-discovery, which is so crucial in understanding our desires, our relationships, and our place in the world. It's an ongoing journey, and the more we understand ourselves, the better equipped we are to navigate our emotional landscapes and interact with others in a meaningful way. This is especially important in relationships, where discovering why we are the way we are can lead to more fulfilling connections. It's this search for understanding that often paves the way for emotional intimacy, creating bonds that go beyond the physical. Sexual desires are diverse and can be quite surprising, especially when we look at things like fetishism. One of the most fascinating yet often whispered about fetishes in Western society is the foot. The foot, a seemingly mundane and insignificant part of the body, is the subject of significant fascination for many. Foot fetishism isn't just some odd quirk. It's a deep-seated attraction that's woven into the fabric of sexual desire for a substantial portion of the population. It's something that many may shy away from discussing openly, but it speaks to the complexity of human sexuality. Our desires are unique, shaped by both our experiences and our subconscious minds, and it's crucial to accept and explore these parts of ourselves. Embracing all the dimensions of human desire, no matter how unconventional, allows us to break free from judgment and fully experience what intimacy can offer. There's also the age-old piece of advice that men should never show weakness in front of their wives. The notion that a man must remain stoic and composed, especially in moments of pain or vulnerability, is deeply embedded in many cultures. It suggests that men should never let their guard down, even when they're hurting. But this mindset can be incredibly isolating. How can we expect to form meaningful, intimate connections if we don't allow ourselves to be open and vulnerable with the ones we love? To me, this idea underestimates the power of shared emotional experiences. True intimacy is not about perfection. It's about being real, showing your true self, weakness, pain, joy, and everything in between. It's about creating a safe space where both partners can be fully themselves, without fear of judgment or rejection. When it comes to sexual attraction, it's so much more than just focusing on the obvious. Often, it's the things we don't immediately think about that can ignite true passion. To truly captivate a woman, it's not about fixating solely on her genitals. It's about the small, intimate moments, the touch of her neck, the curve of her waist, the way her body moves when she's excited or aroused. It's about appreciating her in her entirety and understanding the erogenous zones that go beyond the expected. Her legs, her neck, her breasts, each of these areas can trigger desire and affection when explored with care and attentiveness. True attraction is not about a single action or touch. It's about how you make her feel, desired, cherished, and understood. As we delve into the psychology of attraction, it's essential to consider the people a man surrounds himself with. His friends often act as a reflection of his character. If his inner circle is full of people who are kind, genuine, and supportive, it's a reflection of his values. But if he's surrounded by individuals who are toxic, shallow, or manipulative, it's worth questioning his values as well. We become like the people we associate with, and this is particularly true when it comes to building a lasting, meaningful relationship. The people around us influence our behaviors, perspectives, and how we approach the world. So, it's essential to choose our inner circle wisely. On a more personal note, many people are quick to assume that a larger-than-average penis is necessary for sexual satisfaction, but this is far from the truth. For most women and men alike, an average-sized penis is perfectly sufficient for pleasure. What truly matters is the connection between partners, the emotional and physical chemistry. It's about communicating openly, exploring each other's desires, and finding joy in one another's company. The pressure to conform to societal standards can be overwhelming, but the reality is that a fulfilling sexual experience doesn't come from size. It comes from understanding, trust, and the willingness to connect deeply with your partner. This entire conversation speaks to the complexity of human relationships and attraction. It's not just about physical appearances, sexual acts, or superficial judgments. It's about how we connect on a deeper level. Our desires, our fears, our vulnerabilities, and our strengths all play a role in shaping who we are in our relationships. The more we understand ourselves and each other, the more fulfilling and meaningful our connections will be. Relationships, in the end, are about mutual respect, understanding, and the ability to embrace each other fully, imperfections and all. And that, in itself, is the truest form of intimacy. Wealth, a friend, a wife, and even a grand kingdom may all be regained after being lost, but there is one thing that, once it is gone, can never be replaced: our body. This body, this vessel that we inhabit for a short time, is irreplaceable. When the body is lost, no amount of riches or fame can bring it back. It is fragile, fleeting, and vulnerable to time. We are given one body, one chance to live fully, and once it is gone, we are left with nothing. This realization can be sobering, but it is also profoundly important. It teaches us to appreciate every moment, to cherish the time we have, and to take care of this body that carries us through life. While wealth, a friend, or even a spouse can be rediscovered or built again over time. The body is unique, precious, and irreplaceable. Similarly, in dealing with the darkness of evil or the discomfort of life's thorns, there are only two options available to us. We either confront and crush them with the strength we possess, or we step back and distance ourselves, creating a safe boundary. Life often forces us into such stark choices. We cannot afford to let negativity, toxic people, or harmful situations invade our lives, for they will corrode our spirit. In such instances, it is vital to preserve our peace, our mental health, and our well-being. If we must fight, we fight, but we must also be wise enough to recognize when to walk away and safeguard our souls from unnecessary harm. The bitterness of evil, when allowed to fester in our lives, will inevitably destroy us from within. On a completely different note, the intimate act of a make-out is far more emotional for women than it typically is for men. Women experience these moments with a deeper connection that goes beyond the mere physical. They are not just seeking pleasure from touch, but are also yearning for affection, intimacy, and emotional bonding. For women, a kiss is often an expression of love, trust, and vulnerability. It can carry an immense weight of emotion, one that can lead to deeper feelings of connection and attachment. Men, on the other hand, often approach such moments with a focus on the physical sensation, the heat of the moment, the closeness, the touch. While this physical connection is certainly important, it can sometimes overshadow the emotional layers that women invest in these moments. Men must understand the depth of intimacy that women experience in these encounters. This understanding can create stronger, more fulfilling connections, where both emotional and physical intimacy are equally valued. The fear of death is an emotion that resides deep within us all. But I believe that this fear often doesn't come from the thought of death itself, but from the fear of having lived a life unfulfilled, of never truly embracing the beauty and depth of existence. For many, the fear of death is more of a reflection of their fear of life, of living fully, of taking risks, of experiencing the profound joys and pains that life offers. A man who has lived his life with passion, love, and courage has nothing to fear when death comes knocking. He is ready because he has not merely survived, but truly lived. When a person is fully engaged with life, immersed in the love, the challenges, and the beauty that it brings, death no longer feels like an enemy, but a natural part of the journey. It becomes something that's accepted with grace because the life that was lived was one worth remembering. Anger, that corrosive and destructive emotion, often causes more harm to the person holding onto it than to the object of their anger. I have witnessed this in my own life. Holding onto anger poisons the heart, clouds the mind, and leaves us exhausted. It builds walls around us, making it harder for us to see the truth and harder to heal. It is like acid, slowly eroding the vessel that carries it, until one day, we realize that the damage we've done to ourselves is far worse than anything the person or situation that angered us could have done. It is so important to recognize the power of forgiveness, to release that heavy burden of anger, and to allow ourselves to heal. Letting go isn't about excusing someone else's actions. It's about freeing ourselves from the poison we carry. It's about choosing peace and allowing ourselves the chance to grow beyond the pain. Women are fascinating creatures, with a deep and rich emotional life that influences every aspect of their being. When women immerse themselves in romantic movies or listen to love songs, something magical happens. These stories, these songs, resonate deeply within them, sparking a well of emotion, longing, and desire. They are transported into a world of possibility, a world where love is pure, idealistic, and transcendent. It's more than just the plot of a movie or the melody of a song. It's a deep emotional connection that touches something primal inside. Women, in these moments, begin to imagine love in its fullest expression, and their hearts open wide to the possibilities of connection and intimacy. It's almost as if these fictional tales awaken a deep, sometimes dormant longing for love and companionship that they may not have fully acknowledged before. A man's mood, his emotional state, have a direct impact on how he is perceived by others, particularly by women. There is something magnetic about a man who exudes confidence, calm, and peace. When a man carries himself with emotional stability and self-assurance, he becomes an irresistible force. His energy, his aura, radiates a kind of allure that is hard to put into words. Women are naturally drawn to that emotional stability because it provides them with a sense of security, safety, and trust. It's not about his appearance or his wealth, but about the way he makes others feel. When a man is emotionally balanced, women are magnetically drawn to him, not just for his outward appearance, but for the energy he exudes. That kind of emotional clarity and peace is incredibly attractive and powerful. Women's bodies and minds are beautifully complex, and our understanding of them has evolved. For instance, during ovulation, women are more likely to feel an increased desire for novelty and new experiences, sometimes even contemplating infidelity more than at other times during their cycle. It's a fascinating phenomenon that speaks to the natural rhythms of the human body and the way our hormones influence behavior. These biological impulses, while not always consciously recognized, play a significant role in shaping attraction and desire. Understanding this can help us navigate the complexities of relationships with greater empathy, respect, and awareness. Something that might surprise many people is the unexpected sexual charge that can arise when a woman is shopping for something intimate, like underwear. It's not just about the clothing itself, it's about the experience of choosing something personal and intimate, and how that act of selecting something meant to be shared can create a deeper connection. There's something profoundly intimate about the act of shopping for such personal items, and it's a reminder that connection can be sparked in the most unexpected places. The act of sharing such moments, even those that seem mundane, can enhance emotional intimacy and, yes, even physical desire. When I reflect on these various aspects of human connection, love, attraction, desire, and emotional intimacy, I am struck by how intricately woven they are into the fabric of our lives. The deeper we dive into understanding these emotional and psychological dynamics, the more we realize how much we can learn from each other. Understanding the emotional weight behind every touch, every word, every glance. These are the keys to truly enriching our relationships. Love, connection, and intimacy are not just about physical pleasure. They are about creating spaces where both hearts can meet and flourish. An hour spent in the company of a captivating woman is a strange experience. Time seems to melt away as though it were a fleeting second, slipping through your fingers before you even realize how quickly it's gone. Each passing moment feels too short, leaving you longing for more. On the other hand, imagine sitting on a blazing, red-hot cinder, an excruciating second stretched out into what feels like an eternal, agonizing infinity. Every tick of the clock in such a moment feels unbearable, dragging on, each second longer than the last. That's relativity for you. Time is not merely a constant. It is a reflection of our emotional state and our experiences. When we are in a state of joy, love, or pleasure, time flies by as if we've just blinked. But when we are in pain or discomfort, a moment can feel like an eternity, endlessly torturous. It's remarkable how our minds can alter our perception of time based on what we're feeling at any given moment. The power of scent is something that often goes unrecognized, yet it has an extraordinary ability to captivate and intrigue. A man's scent, subtle yet powerful, can act as a gateway, sparking a woman's interest and potentially developing into something much deeper. Over time, that initial intrigue may blossom into affection, desire, and even love. There's something magnetic about how scent intertwines with memory, making it one of the most powerful and primal forms of attraction. It's the unsung hero in the journey of human connection, one that can evoke deep, emotional responses without us even realizing it. And when a woman finds herself drawn to a man's scent, it's as though a spark is lit in her soul, one that only grows brighter with time and intimacy. As the age-old proverb goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This timeless piece of wisdom applies not only to life's grand adventures, but also to the journey of love and relationships. In those moments of connection, whether fleeting or enduring, everything starts with that first step. It could be a simple conversation, a shared glance, or even just the feeling of warmth between two people. Everything great and profound in life, love, trust, companionship, begins in these tiny, often overlooked moments. And though the journey may be long, with its twists, turns, and challenges, it's that very first step that sets the course for something meaningful. When women reach their 30s and 40s, there's often a shift in their desires and self-perception. They find themselves indulging more in sexual fantasies, things that may have seemed foreign or taboo in their younger years. They often seek out casual relationships or experiences that allow them to explore their sexuality in ways they hadn't before. This phase in life can be a time of self-exploration and empowerment, where a woman feels more confident in owning her desires and what she wants from a relationship. The complexity of their desires deepens, and they begin to view sex not just as a physical act, but as a form of self-expression, emotional connection, and liberation. In particular, many women experience peak desire when both genital and nipple stimulation come together in a harmonious rhythm. It's the fusion of these two forms of physical touch that often leads to the most profound sense of pleasure. These sensations, combined with mental and emotional connection, can transport a woman into a state of deep intimacy and fulfillment. It's a reminder that sexual connection is not just physical. It's deeply psychological, emotional, and spiritual. A woman's body responds to the care and attention she receives, and when those attentions are placed thoughtfully and lovingly, it can bring about an overwhelming sense of closeness and pleasure. And yet, in the whirlwind of life, it's important to not get lost in the past or worry about the future. Often, we spend too much time looking back at what we've done or dreaming about what's to come. But the present moment, this very moment, is where life truly happens. It's in the now that we have the power to act, to connect, to change. Life is not a collection of memories and hopes. It's a series of moments happening right now. We should focus on the sensations we feel, the conversations we're having, and the relationships we're building, because the present is all we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only thing that matters is what is unfolding in front of us right now. Contrary to what society often suggests, women don't dress up merely for men. They don't choose their outfits with the sole purpose of attracting a mate or impressing anyone else. The truth is that women dress for themselves. The decision to dress a certain way is driven by a variety of factors: mood swings, the weather, the current season, personal style, and even something as specific as the waxing schedule or the state of their period cycles. Sometimes it's about how they want to feel in their skin, and sometimes it's about expressing their inner world to the outside. Clothing becomes a form of self-expression, a tool they use to connect with themselves and the world around them. Women dress not for validation but for empowerment, comfort, and confidence. Women who are frequently engaged in lovemaking tend to experience a heightened sense of libido, which is linked not only to physical health but also to an increase in feminine energy. This energy is not just a biological response. It's an emotional, psychological, and even spiritual renewal. The act of love, when it's regular and filled with genuine connection, becomes a source of vitality and confidence. Their connection to their bodies becomes stronger, and this sense of empowerment spills over into all aspects of their lives. Interestingly, younger women may find themselves attracted to older men, not for the reasons one might assume, but because of the sense of security that older men offer. There is something deeply comforting and magnetic about the stability, wisdom, and experience that older men possess. Younger women often seek partners who can provide not only emotional stability but also a sense of safety and maturity that they might not find with peers of their age. Older men, with their years of experience, tend to be more grounded, confident, and emotionally available, qualities that are incredibly attractive to women seeking depth in their relationships. But while older men may be desirable for their stability, it's not always about muscles. The healthiest, most attractive men are those who exude energy, vitality, and a zest for life. They don't need to have bulging biceps or a chiseled physique to draw women in. It's the inner energy, the fire within, that captures attention. It's the vitality that shines through, the passion for life that speaks louder than physical appearance. Research has shown that frequent sexual activity can strengthen the immune system, making it not just a source of pleasure but also a tool for long-term well-being. The more we connect physically and emotionally, the better we feel overall. Eye contact is another powerful form of nonverbal communication, one that reveals a lot about attraction. Women tend to maintain eye contact with men they find intriguing, their gazes lingering a little longer, filled with curiosity and affection. A simple look can speak volumes, revealing a deeper connection that words cannot express. It's in those moments of unspoken understanding that true intimacy often begins. Eye contact, when it's genuine, builds a bridge between two people, fostering trust and emotional depth. Finally, let's not overlook something as simple as the process of getting dressed. Women spend an average of 15 to 20 minutes each day deciding what to wear. This seemingly mundane activity is not just about fashion or function. It's a deeply personal ritual. The process of choosing an outfit is an expression of how they feel in the moment and how they want to present themselves to the world. It's a reflection of their mood, their desires, and their emotions. It's a conversation with themselves, where they decide how they want to feel and how they want to be seen. Every piece of clothing becomes a choice, a symbol of how they connect with their inner world and how they project it outward. For many women, the early morning hours hold a special, almost magical kind of intimacy. There's something about the peacefulness of dawn, the quiet stillness that lingers in the air, that makes it the perfect time for a deep connection with a partner. It's in these tender moments that some women experience their most profound pleasure. One position that many women find deeply satisfying in the morning is the doggy-style position. With deep, rhythmic penetration, the angle can hit just the right spots, creating a sense of pleasure that can sweep over them in waves. It's a deeply intimate, powerful moment of shared connection where orgasm feels not just achievable but almost inevitable. The rush of arousal that builds in those moments, the intensity of the physical and emotional connection, is truly something to marvel at. And speaking of arousal, there's a fascinating and incredibly subtle way that a woman's body responds to touch. Did you know that simply touching a woman's lips, whether it's a soft kiss or a gentle graze, can spark desire in nearly 70% of women? It's truly astonishing how a simple, seemingly insignificant action can stir the deepest emotions. The power of a touch, the electricity that can course through a woman's body with just the right kind of pressure or affection, reveals the incredible sensitivity and complexity of the female experience. It's not just about the physical, it's the emotional connection that runs deeper with each touch, each caress. There's something so deeply sensual and intimate about the way a woman's lips can send ripples of pleasure through her entire being, unlocking feelings that are sometimes hard to put into words. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Now, let's talk about something that many of us are all too familiar with: women's purses. There's this humorous, endearing stereotype about women carrying around bags full of junk, items that appear completely random at first glance. Yet, if you take a moment to look, you'll realize that these items aren't just clutter, they are potential solutions, kept on hand just in case a need arises. Whether it's an extra pair of socks, an emergency snack, or a little bottle of hand sanitizer, there's this underlying belief that one day, those seemingly useless things will come to the rescue in a moment of need. It's almost a form of preparation for the unpredictable nature of life, and it's something that makes women uniquely resourceful. Though many times, those items might never see the light of day, there's an underlying sense of security in knowing they're there. It's one of those quirks of femininity that speaks to the larger idea of being prepared for life's little surprises, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. But if there's one thing that never fails to amaze, it's the timeless nature of female orgasms. The idea that pleasure knows no age limits is a profound, uplifting reality that challenges the misconceptions of aging. Female orgasms are not bound by time, and the ability to experience deep, intimate pleasure does not expire as the years pass. In fact, for some women, the capacity for orgasm can intensify with age. Women in their 70s, 80s, and even their 90s can still experience full, vibrant orgasms. Proof that the body and mind don't lose their capacity for joy with age. There's something incredibly empowering about this truth. It's a reminder that life, love, and pleasure don't have a use-by date. The connection between partners may evolve, but it doesn't diminish, it deepens. In a society that often equates youth with beauty and desirability, it's incredibly refreshing and important to acknowledge that the journey of intimacy and connection only grows richer with experience. Every stage of life brings its unique form of joy, intimacy, and fulfillment. For older women, the emotional and physical experiences of orgasm are often more meaningful than they were in younger years. They have the wisdom to understand the nuances of their bodies, to communicate more freely with their partners, and to embrace the beauty of each moment. These women are living proof that pleasure doesn't fade with age. It adapts and becomes even more fulfilling. It's a beautiful, awe-inspiring thought to know that the ability to experience pure, unbridled joy is not bound by age. Instead, it's a constant reminder that the power of connection, whether it's through touch, affection, or intimate experiences, only grows deeper and more meaningful as time goes on. The love and pleasure that women experience, even later in life, is a testament to the power of both the body and the spirit, reminding us all that life's most profound pleasures are never out of reach. Now that we've explored all these intriguing psychological facts about attraction, intimacy, and the subtle cues that women give off, let's take a moment to reflect. What have you learned today? Was there something that surprised you, or perhaps a piece of information that made you look at attraction in a new way? Maybe it was the fact that women are more likely to open up emotionally during ovulation, or perhaps the idea that how a man interprets a woman's body language can completely change the dynamic of their connection. There's so much to digest here, and I want to know what resonated most with you. What's one key takeaway that you'll be using in your own life going forward? Maybe it's understanding the power of small gestures, like noticing where a woman positions her feet or paying attention to how she touches her hair. Or perhaps it's the idea of how emotional connection and intimacy can deepen with age. Whatever it is, I'd love for you to share it in the comments below. Your feedback not only helps us understand what you're learning, but it also sparks conversation with others who might be thinking about the same things. If you found this video helpful or enlightening, please leave your thoughts in the comments, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with someone who could benefit from these insights. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more fascinating discussions like this. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue creating content that will guide and inspire you in your relationships and beyond. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive even deeper into the psychology of human behavior and attraction. Stay curious, stay engaged, and remember, the journey to understanding ourselves and others never ends.